Hello, and welcome to Conversations with Atlanta's Movers and Shakers. I am your host, Mandisa Johnson. Today, we are having a conversation with actress, award winning director, writer, producer, Marquelle Young. Hey, Marquelle, how are you today?
I am well. I am well. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us.
I'm happy to be here.
Can you share about who you are and what you do in the Atlanta film and TV community?
Yeah, I am an actress, as you said, a producer, director. I have produced for people like Capitol Records, Verizon, Lego, Google, and the list goes on. And I am currently in film festival run with my film Tell Me, which basically follows a Black man going through therapy for the first time, and he is unraveling all of the trauma in his past, um, and realizing how it's affecting his present. So he wants it to not affect his future, or at least in a negative way. So yeah, we're on festival run and we're working on an HBCU tour with this film so that we can talk to other students, and allow themselves to see themselves on screen and know that it's never too early to start getting help for yourself.
Wow, that's awesome. Have you thought about the Morehouse Human Rights Film Festival?
Yes, we were in that this year, so that was really exciting to be a part of. And yeah, we'll be chatting with them about going and hopefully doing an event there. So yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's a great film festival. So can you take us on your journey from how you started to where you are today?
Man, yeah. So I mean, I guess I started as a child performer. I grew up in Atlanta, so I grew up with Atlanta theater, True Colors theater, woohoo, Fox theater kid. I did a lot of. I also danced and all that good stuff, but I studied under Kenny Leon, who is incredible and a wonderful mentor, and it's just so many people in the Atlanta area. But from there, I went to acting school in New York and met a lot of incredible folks. And I realized that I have a lot of opinions. No, but more importantly, I was working on student films as an actress, and every now and again, the production team would get in a bind, and I'm just listening, and I would, give an idea and they would be like, oh, that makes sense. You should do this. So it really started out as being a problem solver. And that's really what a producer is at the heart of it. So that led me into production. And when I moved back down to Atlanta, I worked for several theaters and was able to produce my own work, which was really exciting. And then I started also teaching, which was really fun. Um, and just realized I had a voice as far as directing goes. And so my production what we're producing was allowing me to meet a lot of great people. And so I grew in that career, which has now allowed me to direct more. And now I have my own production company, Small Onion Studios, and we're working on commercials and short films. And we've got a series that we're doing next year. So, yeah.
Wow, you have a lot going on. I was gonna say you sound like you were wearing your producer's hat, and you were.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. I mean, I still am wearing that hat, but you wear that hat so you can direct, and also producing really helps me. Like, I like to be a well-rounded artist. Like, as an actress, I'm an actress and a singer and a dancer and a choreographer and all those things. But on the production side, like being a producer has allowed me to be a better director and writer and all of those things because you're thinking about the logistics side of it.
Mhm.
Um, and it also helps me when I'm directing, to be I guess not a fair director, but I guess a level-headed director.
Right.
Um, I mean, I've got my vision in things, but I also know that, like, okay, I understand that my producer is creating this and it might be difficult. So let me see what else we can do. So again, I'm still problem solving, but
Right. Right. So, growing up, did your parents recognize your love of the arts? And if so, how did they nourish your gift to facilitate growth?
that's a good question. Well, I started out in dance. As a young kid, I was that kid that just danced in my living room, and then every night after dinner, I had a show for my parents.
Uh-huh.
So I would choreograph something, and then everyone had to sit down and watch. So I
Yeah.
think they were like, and my mom was a dancer too. So she was like, okay, I think it's time for her to get in classes. She didn't want to just throw it on me. She realized that it was something that was manifesting in me. So yeah, started out as a dancer, and I was in dance classes. I went from like taking 1 hour a week to taking like 10 hours, 12 hours a week. And I loved, I mean, dance is my first love. And I, I hope that's clear in some of my directing. The camera, it always feels like it's dancing around my
Mhm.
subjects, which is what I love so much. But yeah, went from dancing, and then I also did speech. I did the Optimist Club. My mom was an award-winning speaker, so that I had to do. I didn't have a choice in the matter. But I learned so much, from speech writing to preparing for a speech to learning a speech, memorizing it, and practicing over and over and over, and winning and not winning and all of that stuff. It really taught me a lot of what I think is a lot of basics in this industry,
Mhm.
um, and work ethic and all of that stuff. So yeah, from dance to speech and Optimist Club and Oratorical Club, I think it all just kind of combined into what is theater, really. Uh,
Right.
and then I just kind of blossomed from there. But yeah, my parents have been incredibly supportive my entire life, and I'm very blessed and grateful for that.
Wow. We have similar backgrounds. I'll share
Oh, I
later.
love it.
So, we are going to take a break, but we'll be right back.
Bennett Thrasher provides a wide range of accounting services, consulting services, tax services. When Rick and I started the firm in 1980, we knew we wanted a place that would be different, where people would enjoy working. We've always believed that if you put people first and create a place where people feel like they can trust leadership, feel like you could bring your complete self to work every day and pursue your career, but then also have more of a balanced life. We think that that will result in productive people.
What we find is, if we keep our values in order, we provide much better service to our clients, because we know that our integrity is intact, that our relationships with our families are good, and so that's very conducive to going into the marketplace and taking care of our clients, and we do that quite well.
We recently moved to new offices here in the Cumberland Vinings area in Atlanta. The setup is a bit different than what you'd expect from an accounting or a legal firm in that regard. We have more of an open environment, a collaborative environment. It looks and feels a little bit more like a tech startup, if you will. We've got 300 plus associates and partners. If you want to work with other departments, or you have a need to work with other departments, everyone's right here. You can rope people in pretty seamlessly versus having to wait for someone on the West Coast or whatnot to kind of get back to you.
When you join Bennett Thrasher, you're not getting just a job or career, you're getting a life. And with that life comes an entire extended family. And we treat each other as family, which also extends to our clients. Our clients are not just clients or customers, they're also parts of our family. We do exactly what we say we're going to do when we make a commitment to our associates and to our clients, and that is what makes us different.
I think that the reputation of Bennett Thrasher in this marketplace has been built on doing the right thing. I think it's unique in terms of a business that does the right thing without regard to the cost.
It is one of the best places to work in the country, one of the fastest growing accounting firms in the world. We've managed, I think, to make our business about us rather than about me. And I think that kind of collaboration results in a better answer for our clients and for our people, and people like being a part of that.
Welcome back to Conversations with Atlanta's Movers and Shakers. Today we are having a conversation with Marquelle Young. Upon leaving the New York Conservatory for Dramatic Arts School of Film and Television and embarking on your professional career, were there any moments of fear or self-doubt you had to overcome as a Black woman operating in a space viewed primarily as a white art form? If so, how did you overcome those obstacles?
Yeah, I mean that's a great question. I mean, even though it's gotten better, we're still overcoming those obstacles.
Right.
I think for myself, I was in a weird category because stereotypes, right? So um based on the way that I speak, I didn't always get those stereotypical roles, but and that's kind of what we had for a while. And I had to decide, like, you know, when your agent is telling you, can you talk more different? Can you
Oh,
talk more Black? Is what they say, or more urban.
right.
Um, and you have to think to yourself, do I want to do that? And at the time, when you're a kid, you don't really know what that means. So that's confusing. But I think more than that, it's really just about opportunity, right? Like I just remember having roles that I would read for, and I mean, even to this day, the characters that are for, our Caucasian friends are just more interesting. There's more depth. Again, it's changing. It is definitely changing. As far as my acting career, that's still growing, and I'm still in those places where, there's more opportunity for more depth in these characters. And I think that's also, on us as our people. Like we need to create that content for ourselves,
Mhm.
because we always want to watch the salacious stuff, drama induced, but I'm more interested in I guess, like, the human quality, the things that are complicated and difficult to talk about. So I'm still on the search for, like, a really great breakout, so quote unquote, role when it comes to acting. Um, but I also know that I'm in a place where I can create that for myself. So that's kind of where I am. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to even have my own production company. And I know that there are women that have come before me that have even made that a possibility. So, like I said, we've come a long way. Um, and everybody's journey is different, but I'm just excited to kind of see where I find my place in acting and directing and this industry in general. I'll never stop learning. I'll never stop growing. But I don't know if I answered your question.
Oh, you did. You did. You answered it. You answered it well. So I have a fun question.
Yay!
So, like a few weeks ago, I was on your Instagram account and realized you had a role in BET's American Soul as Bonnie Pointer of the Pointer.
Oh yeah.
Could you talk about your experience playing Bonnie Pointer?
Oh my gosh. First of all, I had a blast. Oh my gosh. I can't even express to you. So again, also, like, you should know, I mean, obviously this business it is very much about luck, look,
Mhm.
um, and your choices, but all of it coming together. So, specifically for her, like, I think one of the most important things being an actor is being a smart actor, and making strong choices. So I remember auditioning for Bonnie. I did my research, I looked up the Pointer Sisters. I talked to my mama about the Pointer Sisters and my aunt about the Pointer Sisters. Because you don't have to, spend a whole bunch of time, but, I just had a quick conversation about them. And then in the audition, it said specifically, like, they're in the middle of rehearsal, and they were singing a song. So, as a smart actor, I'm gonna go the next step further. And maybe those other actresses didn't do it. You don't know. Maybe they did, but whatever. So I looked up one of their songs, and on the way to the audition, again, not a whole bunch of time, I just learned a little chorus of it. And so, I said my lines and I started it, had a little dance going. Again, simple, but and I did my little song with it. And I mean, the director said, like, he was like, I was impressed for what you had brought to it, that you had really taken the time to do it.
Mhm.
And also I happened to resemble Bonnie. He was like, your smile is so Bonnie. So that was really exciting. But oh my goodness, being on that set was incredible. All of you people were so just beautiful people to be around. Seeing Soul Train, like, it was just amazing to be a part of that, our cultural moment in history.
Right.
And really bringing together a lot of the things that I'd done in my life, singing, dancing, um, and working with all women was really beautiful. I mean, that whole crew was just incredible. So yeah, it was a beautiful experience. I would love to do it again. I know it's over, but I would love to do something like that
Right.
again.
You have those projects that you were like, okay, I would do this again. I enjoyed
Oh, absolutely.
it. Yeah. So my parents had either the album, like the record,
Mhm.
Pointer Sisters, or is it 8-track? I don't remember, but I remember
Oh,
like the Sledge Sisters. We
oh
had
yeah.
all them. So yes, I was like, ooh, I want to ask a question about this. But um, that's so cool. And then I like how you shared about being a smart actor. Like if you don't know, ask questions and
Yeah,
research. And I like how you learned the song. Like a lot of people don't do that.
yeah,
But it is, it is important to like research who you're portraying so you can know how to like get into that character. So thank
exactly.
you for sharing that. So
Yeah.
you wear many hats within the film and TV community. Can you share with us which hat you prefer to wear and why?
Ooh, that's so funny. Yeah, everybody always asks me this question. Um, I think currently I prefer to direct.
Mhm.
Um, and the reason being, I'm just coming into I like realizing how much of I guess a vision that I have when it comes to stuff. Um, give me an idea and I can be like, okay, I like, this is what we could do here. And again, it doesn't mean to be the best vision, but I have a point of view that's really blossoming, and I'm enjoying flexing that muscle, and just seeing what I can create in a way that creates empathy and induces empathy in people, allows people to feel less alone. I think, like, I'm always gravitated towards telling a story that needs to be seen, telling a story that someone else like needs to see themselves in, which is, I think, why I even wrote "Tell Me," because I hadn't seen a Black man in therapy on film ever. And so I was like, well, if I haven't seen it, why don't I write it? Um, and I mean, even the good that it's done just in my community, having men talk about their experience and the fear of therapy, or the stigma still. I mean, I know that we are thankfully coming into this space where we are talking about it, but it's still there's a stigma there, and there's a fear of like, well, I don't know what to say, and I'm not ready to talk about these things. But just even having the conversations, the talkbacks and the Q&As that we've had specifically with young people that are in the rooms and are like, wow, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
And how do I get help next? So that's why we're really focusing on, okay, let's go and talk to these schools and provide them with help. Because I don't even think, when we toured the film in the Bahamas, and the students didn't even realize that they had free therapy while they were in
Oh,
school.
wow.
Yeah. So just like letting them know these resources are available and they're now, and they're free.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, to talk to somebody, even if it's just what you think is little, can change your life. So we're in this business not just for entertainment, but we're trying to change the world, to change people's lives.
Yeah. I don't think I can recall a film that talks about Black men or Black people
People.
in therapy. So I
Yeah.
like that, that's what producers and directors do. They have a problem, they see a problem, and they solve
Yes.
it.
And
So,
they solve it. That's been my whole life. And slowly but surely, that's what I'm trying to do in my art. So,
well,
yeah.
I'm glad you did that. I want to see the film myself.
Yes, I'd be happy to.
So we are going to take a break, but we'll be right back.
You don't strike me as the type of woman that would keep secrets.
We all have secrets, Troy.
Honey, you better know Michelle is the best makeup artist in town. Practices on herself all the time. Everything has a price. You've been running all your life. When are you going to stop running?
When I don't have a reason to.
I love you. And I love baby girl. And I promise I got you.
You don't have to do this by yourself. I'm here.
So you don't care?
It's not about caring, it's about privacy.
Why are you so obsessed with this case? Because I made a promise. Yeah, a promise you couldn't keep.
You are one lucky woman.
That I am.
What are you doing? I'm not lying!
Everything has a price.
Welcome back to Conversations with Atlanta's Movers and Shakers. Today we are having a conversation with Marquelle Young. Can you talk to us about the importance of being multifaceted in the entertainment industry?
Ooh, yeah. I think more than anything, it just gives you more opportunities. You know, in the beginning, I could be like, okay, well, I can produce, I can help with this, I can help with this. So literally it just broadens your range of getting in some way, shape, and form. And then once you find what you really enjoy, obviously you can, really work on that aspect of it. But also, I think like as a director, my experience being in front of the screen has been, insurmountable. Like I know how to talk to actors. I also know, like, I'm also a Meisner teacher and a Meisner coach. So when it comes to that aspect, like being a director, I know exactly what I need from my actors and how to get it from them.
Mhm.
And also like creating a space, being a producer, I've worked on some sets that were just stressful and just not nice people. And I have learned, like, okay, when I have a set, I want to make sure that people don't feel less than.
Mhm.
So I have always tried to make sure that, like, I want to have fun. And I think it's tough sometimes, especially as a woman. I'm very effervescent presenting. So I think sometimes it's hard for people to take me seriously.
Mhm.
I was a director on a set once, and I had a guy like say to me, "Why don't you go focus on directing?" And I was like,
What? Wow.
"Wow!" in front of the whole crew,
Wow.
like because I wanted in the because I wanted to set a tone. I wanted everyone to come together in the beginning, and he just completely interrupted me and was like, "Why don't you go do your little girl thing?" And it was, and that's happened more than once, and it is tough. Like you're like, wow, I just want to be a kind person, and somehow it's like people want to step on you if you're being a nice leader.
Mhm.
It's like sometimes they want people to be an asshole as a leader, and I don't think that that's necessary. I really don't. We are telling stories, and they're very important, but we're not curing cancer. We're not we're here to have fun. Filming and directing and all of those things should be fun. You don't need to have a stressful set. And I'm a big proponent of that. I love knowing what my crew's favorite cookie is. Like, I just want to.
Yeah.
It's important to be a human on the set, and we all have our moments, of course. But I think the most important thing is like making sure that we create a team, that we're all on the same page, that people know they can come to me for anything. They don't have to, fear me in any way, shape, or form. And I think because I've had these experiences leading up to it, it's helped me become a better director, as a producer, as a performer, as just being a teacher. Like, it's all culminated into where I am today. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't like stressful environments, period.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, in like film, working on a film is like the last place where you want to be stressed. It seems like fun and it should be fun.
Yeah.
Let's make it fun. And like, like you were saying, you like to know what your crew's favorite cookie is. Well, that's what leaders do. They want to know, like, what do you like? Maybe I can, buy buy the donuts or
Right.
so, and then that shows that you're listening to them as a leader. So yeah, I agree with you. So can you share with us about your production company, Small Onion Studios, and the types of services you provide?
Yes. So we are a small business. We are a full service production company, and we provide production services. We provide, we can also provide post as well, depending on your level of post. And honestly, like, our biggest thing is we create small stories with big impact. So we really enjoy working with teams, companies, and stories that need to be told, that are representing marginalized communities, documentaries that are telling, stories that we need to hear. We just worked with HBGM and Co., which is an executive search and placement company that works specifically with women of color, women with disabilities, veterans, LGBTQIA, and helping place them in corporate America roles so that we are creating diversity in corporate America, which is still very important to happen. So like those are the type of people that we want to work with. We did a documentary about the metropolitan area in Atlanta, specifically Metropolitan Avenue, which used to be a very thriving area and is very close to the airport, and yet has been, like, the homeless population is insane. It's not being taken care of. It's not being seen by the city, and the attempts to try and create funding and equity there is difficult. It's not been happening. So we talked to people there. We talked to homeless people on the street. And we did that with a pastor, William Francis, who just has been what is it? He's been a leader in that community. He's just been going around and helping people, talking to people, and creating a space for conversation. So those, again, are the types of stories that we want to tell, that we're interested in being a part of, because it's important. So
yes,
yeah.
and stories that aren't being told. So I didn't know that area. I mean, I know that area, but I didn't know like the homeless population.
It's bad. It's really bad. And it's all about, equity, right? Not equality, equity, which is what that documentary was about. And you just realize, I mean, I remember we interviewed like a 15-year-old kid, and we said to him, okay, if you had $1 million right now, well, a 15-year-old kid was like, if you had $1 million, what would you do right now? And he said, I would build a playground in my community, and I would fix the water for my nephew, because we don't have clean running water in Atlanta.
Wow.
Next to the airport.
Next to the airport that they keep building up over.
Yeah. And so I just was amazed by that. I mean, a 15-year-old kid, he should be like, I want an Xbox. Okay, that's dated. Or, a car. And he was like, I want to have a playground for my nephew and clean water. Like, what? So
Yeah,
anyway, those are the stories again.
thinking bigger.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So can you share about where the name Small Onion comes from?
I love that people ask this question. Yes. Very simply, my father called my mom Big Onion because she has very many layers to her in a very fun way. Women are basically saying women are complicated, but in a fun way. We have so many layers to us. And when I got to be a teenager, he was like, all right, you're officially Small Onion. And I've been Small Onion since that. So yeah, it's an ode to my dad.
There's definitely a lot of layers to you.
Yes, and that.
I like that. I like that. So what would be a piece of advice for a high school student looking to pursue a career in film and television?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I would say start right now. It's never too early to start making films. You have an iPhone. You can do so many things with an iPhone. And then also create your team right now. I think people are like, oh, I want to make a big film and I need to meet these people. The people that you need to meet are around you, especially if you're in film school. I mean, that's how Steven Spielberg and Spike Lee and all these folks got to where they are, because they went to film school, they met some folks, they were making crazy films, and now they're all millionaires making exactly what they want to make. So find your team, find your community that are going to go just as hard as you, that want to spend time working on their craft, and are just as serious about it, but also can have fun. So that's what I would say, is start right now, find your group, and just make stuff.
Right. I like that answer. So we like to provide our readers and viewers something that's called GEMS, which stands for Great Educational Moments with Movers and Shakers. Do you have any gems for those who might be looking to pursue a career in the film and TV industry?
Ooh, any gems? Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is said a lot, but it's because it's true. Know who you are. That will help you so much. And I will say, I think it can be more difficult for women and women of color, because there are expectations from us, and we have stereotypes to fight against, and there are, like, we always want to please people, right? As a woman, you're always trying to please people, and then as an actress, you're like, okay, what do they want from me? But it's the more important thing is present who you are. As a director, present who you are, what your vision is, and don't be afraid of that. Like, just be confident in your vision, and it may not be the thing they go with. As an actress, they may not like that choice. Doesn't mean you're a bad actress, just means they went with somebody else's choice. If you present a treatment as a director and they didn't go with it, doesn't mean they didn't like you. It just means they didn't want to go with that specific choice. There's so many opportunities for growth. And I think, just, again, know who you are and allow a part of your career continue to be finding out who you are even more, and stepping into that without fear, is what I would say is like the most important thing. Because when you know who you are, you don't have to second guess. You trust yourself, you trust your gut, you trust your vision, and you already know that if it's meant for me, it's meant for me because it's for me, not because of what I have to do to help please someone else or to be a certain way, So that's what I would say.
You don't have imposter syndrome.
Yes, it's hard. It really is hard, especially for perfectionists. But
yeah, I think I'm one of those people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how can people connect with you?
Yeah. Follow Small Onion Studios. We've got a lot going on super soon. And honestly, email me info@SmallOnionStudios, We're always looking for actors and actresses. We're always looking for crew members. If you're a DP, if you're a gaffer, if you're a sound guy, if you're an actress, we are working on projects where we may need to cast. We are always looking for crew. And if you're a company, like, come to us. We can help create your vision, give you an incredible experience, and create something that you will love in the end. So, yeah.
She does everything.
I'm trying to do less. I'm trying to do less. You don't have to do
Okay.
everything.
Okay. It's okay. Thank you so much for answering a few questions for us. We appreciate it. And thank you for joining us. If you know someone who you think could be in Atlanta Film and TV's Mover and Shaker, we will be accepting applications after the first of the year. See you next time.